I've always found that music to be super, super epic. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Instant Replay, your favorite sports podcast. I'm your host, Zohaib Nakvi. This week we had Robert Ghandour, who's a huge Chelsea fan, but a huge European football fan. Robert comes onto the podcast to talk to us a little bit about the UEFA Champions League and what he's noticed of the teams that have made it to the semifinals so far. If you guys don't know, the matchups right now in the semifinals are the Battle of Madrid, Real taking on Atletico for the fourth year in a row, and then we have the young Monaco side taking on the experienced Juve side. Who's going to win that battle? It's a great episode where Rob obviously shares his insights, his knowledge, but also has a little bit of personal bias in his opinions. Nonetheless, we really enjoyed having Rob in the studio, so hope you guys enjoy this one. It was a fun one. Big Chelsea fan, so
big fan, yeah.
Obviously you've been following the EPL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Saturday morning, wake up, have a cup of coffee while watching a couple of games.
Nice, of course.
Yeah.
And you guys are at the top of the league, so you're a happy Chelsea fan.
I would say happy and nervous. I mean, it's still Tottenham's right on our tail. And,
Yeah.
And there's a couple of games we dropped. One, Crystal Palace.
Yep.
That wasn't easy.
Yep.
And on top of that, Man U 2-0.
Oh, wow.
And Tottenham's just been on a tear.
Yeah.
Sure, we had beat them.
Yeah.
A couple, like a week ago or so, but in the EPL, they've been just tearing teams up for nothing.
And last week's game was for the FA Cup, right? Like, it doesn't count as an EPL
It
league
doesn't.
game.
No. I was hoping that game itself would destroy their morale, because they're on fire, right? And I was hoping that, like, maybe that crushing. If Chelsea had scored a bit more goals, it would kind of bring down their ego and
Confidence.
everything. Exactly.
Because I even watched that game, and even in the loss, they played well.
Exactly.
In my opinion. So that just goes to say that they're still playing well, you know?
Yeah, they're a hell of a team. They're young kids. They have a couple of attitude problems.
You think so?
Oh, they're dirty players.
Oh no!
But that being said, you can't take away the credit that they're a really good team. Kane's a hell of a striker.
Yeah.
I think him and Lukaku, who also plays on Everton,
Yeah.
are two strikers that are really underrated because they're not in the whole Barcelona, Madrid, whatever. I think if they went to play in the Spanish league and they put up the numbers they're putting,
You know that's the thing. So anytime a good, and we'll talk about Monaco as well, which has a similar, like, a great striker with them. But anytime these smaller clubs, I'd say, Tottenham to me is a smaller club, right, has a top level striker, eventually you're kind of worried, like Gareth Bale is a perfect example. You're kind of worried that someone's gonna come, a rich club, and then pay a massive transfer fee and take him away. I just find that that's the one thing you don't necessarily have that problem, because Chelsea's a big club.
Yeah.
Chelsea's massive, right? Like one of the top English Premier League clubs, and it's been that way for God knows how long, very long time. Whereas Tottenham is just recent in terms of their up-and-coming status, and, you know, as soon as Gareth Bale had one good season, you know, Real Madrid came and scooped him up.
Exactly. Which, you're right. You are right. It's it gets worry. As a Spurs fan, I would worry about that. But that being said, you still have, like, the team. I kind of feel is built around a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
You know, they want to play together. They're kind of like buddies.
Yeah.
And if one guy decides to leave,
Yeah.
I don't think he would have the same success. For example, perfect example would be Moussa Dembele. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
Plays great with them.
Yep.
But I feel if he leaves anywhere else, I wouldn't say his career is gonna go down, but he won't have the same performance.
Fair enough.
It's a good chemistry team. As much as, like I was saying, I was trash talking them. The coach did a hell of a job.
Oh man.
Pick out every player, tell them this is your role, this is your role.
Totally.
And they play very high pace, exciting football.
Yeah.
You know, which I say in the coming years, if they stay the way they do, it's going to be a hell of a team to watch.
Yeah, like I was telling you, we had a Tottenham fan on right now, and he's like, just give it a couple of years, and we'll finally get our first league win. That's what he wants to believe. Obviously, you're not going to agree with that. As a Chelsea fan,
you can't take. I'm not going to take that away from. Maybe it's a good possibility. Like, no one would have guessed Leicester last City, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's everybody would have been.
The odds of that was like, I know I saw something on SportsCenter, like, the odds of that was less than Thunder striking twice in the exact same zone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
The probability.
If you put in a grand on Leicester at the beginning of the season, you would have made 5 million by the end.
What?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And with Tottenham, obviously, is a much better team, right?
Yeah.
So you would put them top 4.
Yeah.
As of recent form, you put them top 4 to finish. So
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why they can't win it. But you have Chelsea, obviously, is just they become stronger.
Yeah.
Man U, I think in the next coming year are going to get a couple of players here and there, possibly.
What's happened to Arsenal?
There's this big debate between Arsenal fans about Wenger in, Wenger out, the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell these players, they have no motivation, they have no chemistry, they don't want to play. They just other than Alexis Sanchez, obviously, but then he gets to a point where he's giving it all, and he's still, I'd say, he gave up on the team. He's just like, I'm giving my 100%, no one's giving it back. Why should I continue? And he's leaving.
For sure.
He's leaving, but he wants to stay in London. I mean, why not Chelsea?
It's so funny to me that every time so I've had a Liverpool fan on, I've had a Tottenham fan on, and now you're the first Chelsea fan on. Every single time I have a different club, they always market their club on the podcast. Every single time.
I mean, I'm just putting up what was said. I'm not trying rumors or anything like that.
Right. Fair enough. Okay, so let's switch gears now, because obviously we wanted to get you in before the semifinals start. That's really the big thing right now in Europe in terms of the UEFA Champions League is fully underway. We know who our top 4 teams are at this point in time. I just want to get your thoughts in terms of, so the matchups, there was a draw, obviously, the matchups came out. Atletico is taking on Real Madrid, and at the same time on the other end, it's Juventus taking on Monaco. To me, so in terms of Real Madrid and Atletico, they're super familiar with each other. They both play in La Liga, Spanish league. And so that to me is, and obviously they've played each other for the last 3 years in a row. And all 3 times, obviously, Real Madrid has won because they're the bigger club. I don't know what your take is in general on that matchup.
I'm actually very, very thankful, because I would have felt if Madrid took on Juventus or Monaco and Atletico would have taken on the other, you probably would have ended up with another Spanish final. Yeah. Which they were boring. They were absolutely boring. Yeah. And it's good to see finally either a French or an Italian team up there.
But does that go to show you that the Spanish league? What's the best league in Europe?
Best league in terms of what?
In terms of
strongest
talent,
teams?
Skill, whatever you want to say.
Entertainment, the EPL. I will vouch for it. I can stand by it. You have 8 different teams.
Sure.
That are, it's just playing incredible.
Sure.
It's entertaining. It's high paced. Liga is very boring and slow.
Because it's a 2-team.
The Spanish league, obviously, they're just stacking all world-class players, right? When you've got, Madrid has Isco on the bench,
right,
who extended his contract with them for I don't know what reason,
right.
He's a hell of a player. I think in any other team he would be destroying. Why is he on the bench?
Yeah.
James coming off the bench, it's.
But that's the amount of money these clubs have, that they can get the top tier talent and just put them on the bench.
Exactly, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Obviously Madrid pays a lot, and
tons.
Exactly, and it's crazy the amount they're throwing at these players. Why wouldn't they say, why would they say no?
Yeah.
And as well as, think about it, you're playing on Madrid. Anywhere you want, we have, all of Colombia would be backing Madrid.
Yeah.
Because of James Rodriguez.
Totally. It's strictly because of James Rodriguez.
Exactly. So just things like that, where it's just, unfortunately, I'd say it ruins some careers.
Yeah, I totally believe that. But anyways, going back to the UEFA Champions League, so we have Real Madrid, Atletico, and obviously that's, in your opinion, who wins that, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I would love Atletico Madrid to win it, just because they've made it to the finals twice and kind of lost.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them hold it up.
Oh, okay.
But that being said, I think Madrid will win.
Yeah.
Especially coming off that loss to Barcelona. And why not go for that double, right? The La Liga's in their hands.
Sure.
As well as having the Champions League. That's just bragging rights like crazy.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo obviously will want that.
Does that happen? Does it happen a lot in the European League where there's back-to-back champions?
Yeah. It does. It does happen. I think Barcelona's done it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, who I absolutely despise.
You despise Barcelona? I don't meet many people that are Barcelona haters.
I completely hate them. I think they've ruined football, and I can vouch. I have many people backing them.
I love the way they play football. I don't like the team. I'll just make that clear. But I love the way they play football.
That quick little small
triangle
possession.
passing. Triangle passing.
But it's so slow. It's just they play in the back and then they slowly move up. Like if you see what Pep Guardiola, he's explained his strategy. I've seen that, and it's just very slow. It's not these like the English league or the English style. I would say even it's just long passes.
Yeah, totally.
Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes.
Yeah.
Scholes to me is one of the best midfielders ever.
Right.
Just that long range. No,
Yeah.
in Barcelona, unfortunately, they play that small, just possession, and
Totally.
I don't find that attractive. I mean, that's an opinion.
Yeah.
But in terms of hating them, it's basically they've been given many titles. 09 in Chelsea versus Barcelona. That is a very.
There's no personal bias here.
There's no personal
Rob?
bias. No, because if you actually go watch the video online
Yeah.
of that game,
Yeah.
you will see how Barcelona was given that game to
Okay.
a point where it was so obvious that I think that's where they'll call them Eufolona.
Okay.
You know, because of all their little. Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard that. That's hilarious.
All because of that game, honestly. It was just absolutely, the ref was, they were trying every way to get Barcelona through.
Gotcha.
And it was against Chelsea, and unfortunately it was against Chelsea. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that to me was just the sealer of, okay.
Well, clearly, then you must be happy this year.
Oh, I was
They got demolished. I mean, even the PSG game, that's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what happened there.
that was
it's
a
hard
given
to believe.
game. That was another given game. You're telling me Suarez deserves those penalties?
That's hard to believe to me. Yeah, exactly. I don't believe it, like how they were able to come back from PSG, but they got obviously demolished by
Juve, and who I would love to see Juventus or Monaco raise that trophy up. Personally, Juventus,
Okay.
just because they're a good team.
Yeah.
They play solid football. Massimo Allegri, their coach, is incredible.
Yep.
And that Italian wall is just incredible. You have Chiellini, Bonici.
They do not allow goals. They've like in the last what was it? I read something. They in the last like 10 games they've conceded goals twice.
Yeah.
In the Champions League.
It's a wall, the Italian wall, and they've started playing their 4-4-2 positioning.
Yeah.
Right. If they go back to 3, add Bonucci, Chiellini, and then they add Barzagli.
Yeah.
Who's a hell of a defender with Buffon in net.
Oh.
Like, and Monaco's a very attack-minded team, right?
It's fully attack.
Fully attack.
And they're all, but the other thing is, okay, so why I want to see Juventus win as opposed to Monaco. Monaco obviously has the younger team, you know, basically so young that I'd classify them as they don't really understand even the pressure of the situation. They're kind of just like free-spirited and they're gonna go out there and play their game,
which is great.
Which is awesome football for us,
yeah.
Right? Because that's why they're so offense-driven. But that clashing against the defense of Juve, I don't think is gonna work. The experience and defense of Juve, and Juve obviously has a lot older players. Compared to Monaco, so I think between the two, like if Juve wants this might be Juve's year, is basically what I'm saying. And if not, then that window is getting like very close to like closing for all the players.
Exactly, and I don't see why not. Diabala is on fire. Him and Higuain are just like tearing it up.
Yeah, Higuain's playing fantastic.
He's an incredible player. Like they keep bashing him for the Argentinian performance.
Oh, I love him.
He's a great player.
He's a great player. They're calling him the heir to Messi. I don't know about that,
Diabala or Higuain? Diabala, yeah. He's a great player, and he has a hell of a left foot.
And he's so young, man. 23 years old. He's fantastic. To be quite honest, like the way he gets through the midfield, like he is fantastic at keeping the defender off balance. You know,
it's incredible. And his goals versus Juventus were just, I mean, not Juventus,
so
sorry, Barcelona. Were so nice, and with such confidence. And as a young guy, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have a hell of a squad, and I wouldn't say I don't like, but I'd rather they go back to their 3-5-2 formation.
Sure.
Just because especially versus Monaco.
Yeah.
Right. That three defender, the Italian wall would.
Right.
You know, that'd be taken care of. That would smooth down the Monaco attack.
Right.
Because that's basically all they've been kind of doing, just pure attack, right?
Right.
They have no D against Dortmund, which I'm very surprised they've won.
Yeah.
I thought Dortmund was going to take that.
I actually thought Dortmund was going to take that as well, to be quite honest. So I genuinely thought Dortmund being, you know, was it last year or the year before when they actually made it all the way to the finals, which was a huge surprise to everyone, right? Since then, they've obviously done extremely well, and they're a young side too.
It's exciting and fast paced.
But that I wouldn't even say that the two legs were pretty competitive in my opinion, to be quite honest. Like it wasn't like Monaco blew them out at any point. They won the first leg 3-2 and the second one 3-1, I think.
But where was Aubameyang? He missed a couple opportunities and stuff. So yeah, we get that situation with the bus, unfortunately, but they had their opportunities, so you can't take that away from.
Gotcha. Okay,
from
so you're rooting for Atletico to win, but you think Real Madrid's gonna win on that side.
Yes.
And then you're rooting for who on the Juve side? Juve or Monaco?
Juventus.
Juventus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to like them when Pirlo was on that team, right? It was a hell of a team to watch, and now they're exciting, but I'm not a big fan of their midfield. They got Pjanic, Khedira, and over there, as well as names not coming to me.
Yeah,
Forgive
that's
me,
fine.
but yeah, I liked it better when they had Pjanic is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
they had a better distributor of the ball.
Gotcha.
In Pirlo.
Yeah.
It was more fun to watch, a more funner Juve to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would like to see Juventus, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
But then I would say to myself, would it be just an all defensive final, right? Because Atletico Madrid is pure defense.
Yeah, I agree with
You know,
you.
they have Godin's a hell of a center back. It's very
Yeah.
you know, and it would be a very defensive type. So if you see Madrid going through and you see Monaco go through, you're gonna have a very high paced game.
Totally. Absolutely.
Unless Monaco starts getting nervous and realizing the pressure of the game and start pushing back. You know?
I don't think that's going to be the case, to be quite honest. But so like for instance, they have Mbappe, I think, right?
But that 18-year-old phenom, yeah,
Yo.
he's just
Please tell me he's. Firstly, they're comparing him to Thierry Henry, which in itself is a huge compliment, right?
Yeah.
You must be familiar with Thierry Henry. He spent most of his career in the EPL,
Yeah.
right? Just a phenomenal player, legend in my opinion, and he's only 18 years old. There's no way, in my opinion, he's gonna stay at Monaco. Someone's gonna pick him up. Any idea who's gonna pick him up?
Oh, that's good.
What's your guess?
Where would he fit perfectly? That's
Yeah.
what it comes back to what I was saying before. Like, if he leaves Monaco, will he still perform the same way, right?
Right. No, but that's why they're not rushing to like
Exactly.
send him out.
Exactly.
I'm sure he could be of value right now to Monaco, right? But they're not pushing him out just yet. They want to keep him for another season, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
But there's obviously there's admirers, there's people that want to court him into coming to their club. I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to actually see him at Arsenal. If Wenger stays for 2 years, his extension.
So quite literally following Thierry Henry's footsteps.
Could be. Yeah, exactly. Plus,
that's funny.
yeah, and like Arsenal have Giroud
Yeah.
up front, who's just, I don't know, he's not a bad striker, but
Yeah.
he's not fitting it. He's just not. It's not working with him. I don't see it. Out of maybe 10 opportunities on target, he'll score two or three, right? That being said, I might say Arsenal. I would like to say Man U, but I'm also hinting Man U might pick up Griezmann
Oh, okay.
if they get into the Champions League.
Gotcha. You think they're gonna take him from Atletico?
Yeah, I think if Man U finish fourth, if they get a spot in the Champions League,
Yeah.
I see a good reason for Griezmann to go to.
Did you hear what Jesse Rodriguez said recently?
About
Griezmann?
no.
He said that he's not good enough to play on Real Madrid because there were rumors circling around him being picked up by Real Madrid.
Really? I thought he's the one that tore them the 1-1 that rip in their forgive my language, but in their butt, you know. When Madrid thought they had the game, he came back and just
Yeah. No,
he's a really good player. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to.
he said he's not talented enough to play. There's far more talented players on Real.
Please, that's he's a great player. You know what? Good. You know what? Don't go to Madrid. Don't because that team is built around Ronaldo, right?
Yeah, it is built around Ronaldo.
Exactly, and Ronaldo hasn't been putting up the performance, and I feel like he's shadowing anybody else who would like.
Sorry, are you saying that Ronaldo has not been putting up a good performance?
The Bayern performance, people will tell about. Okay, 2 offside goals.
I agree with you. They were offside,
Yeah.
clear as day. I don't understand what happened there. But he still had goals in both games, both legs.
Yeah.
Right. Hat trick in the other, which is offside driven, but nonetheless, I don't think he's, to be quite honest, I don't think he's at the position where he's. I don't know. He's 32 years old, so naturally he should slow down, right?
Yeah.
You'd expect that. It's just age. But he's still playing phenomenal, in my opinion, for his age.
For his age, but he's okay. Yes, I agree.
I just
he's
feel
still
like your
not,
benchmark is him scoring 60 goals. Like that's what he's used to.
No, my benchmark is him playing for Madrid and not for his name, which I
Yeah,
feel a
he's-
lot of his performances have been, because that to me is the Barcelona game, for example.
Right.
Right? All I saw him play was for Ronaldo. He wasn't playing for Madrid. When compared to Messi, who, like I told you, I do not like Barcelona, but Messi was playing to win that game for Barca. He wasn't looking to score those 2 goals. They happened to come, great, but he was looking. He had a couple of hell of a pass.
Yeah.
Right. He was.
But to compare their games is, to me, like, okay, so I'm getting the drift that you like Messi.
No.
No?
I don't like either or, actually, to be honest.
Okay, but one of them is the best player.
One of them is the best player.
It has to be one of them is the best. What do you mean? Like the
That's-
last 5 player of the years have gone to them.
Which can be controversial. In 2010, Wesley Sneijder deserved it. Wesley Sneijder he went to the finals with Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
And he had won with Inter the Champions League, right?
Yep.
And he was a hell of a player. I don't see why Messi took it that year, right? There's one year with Suarez in Liverpool, that beast of a year he had.
Yeah.
To me, he was just tearing it apart. Tell Messi to come to the EPL and do the same thing, and then we'll.
You don't think it would work in the EPL?
I don't know. He's a phenomenal player. I'm not gonna take it. Him and Ronaldo going down in history as.
Well, Thierry Henry has said very publicly, between the two, he's like, they're both great players, but Messi is hands down the best player he's ever played with. That he's seen play.
Okay.
And that's a guy coming from the EPL.
Of course. But like I said, Ronaldo's performed in the EPL.
Yeah.
Incredible. And in my opinion, I actually would have liked to see him. Not like to see him. I enjoyed seeing him in Man U more than I like seeing him in Madrid.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I thought he played, in my opinion, he was more exciting in Man U than he is in Real Madrid. Real Madrid, he's kind of like, I hate to use this word because, that's what a lot of times a striker will do, but he's cherry picking for a lot of times. Like whereas in Man U, I felt like he was creating a lot of his shots.
Exactly.
There was a big difference between his game.
Oh yeah.
And so that's completely different because a striker is meant to score whatever way it comes to them in that form of play. So I don't really hold that against him. But nonetheless, I agree with you. He was far more exciting in Man U.
Which now, to answer your question, it's very subjective. It's very controversial. Obviously, I think Messi. Okay, when they're at their peaks, Messi is the better player.
Yeah.
But the more entertaining player to watch would be Ronaldo when he's performing.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I love his shots from outside. He has that little quickness. But Messi to me is a better player because he creates more chances for his team.
Yeah, that's
right?
I couldn't agree with you more. But he plays a different position too, right?
Exactly. So
like his role is to create more players. If you're playing in the midfield, that's completely different than when you're playing top striker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people will fight between both. I say to myself, I don't get into that debate. I have my opinion, my own views.
Yeah.
They could be wrong. I don't care. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
But what people, instead of arguing, just enjoy the fact that you're getting to watch 2 guys who probably retire. You go, oh, those days where I got to watch Messi do this and that,
Yeah.
So, but even then, people go, who's your favorite player? And a lot of people say, oh, Ronaldo, Messi, all those kind of.
Sure.
To me, it was never those things. My favorite player is Frank Lampard.
Oh wow.
Right, him and Michael Ballack.
Well, that's obvious for you. Why they're your favorite players?
Well, that's exactly.
That's completely obvious.
But Frank Lampard wasn't the best player in the world. Obviously, he came second to Ronaldinho in Ballon d'Or in 06.
Yep.
But between me and you, I just like the way he plays, and that's why.
Is he your favorite player of all time?
Of all time, him, and I would say just behind him would be Michael Ballack.
Okay. Yeah.
Just
the
2,
German captain.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's
also a Chelsea legend.
Exactly. That to me is what I do. Tell people, who's your favorite player? They immediately jump to like Messi, Ronaldo, or what. And
no, but the only reason they jump to that is because of the fact that for the last 6-7 years, let's just say, take that window, and there's been only 2 winners for the FIFA World Player of the Year.
Okay.
Right? That's the only reason they jump to it.
Exactly. But now, is that a full, like, I can say it's a bit of a marketing thing too.
Could be.
To bring in the entertainment. But when people say, I'm like, listen, favorite player doesn't mean the best player in the world. It means someone you enjoy watching.
Sure.
Like right now, Hazard, to me, I enjoy watching him play.
Sure.
Is he the best player in the world? That's very debatable. I think if he works his way, he can be one of the best.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I just love watching him play, the way he goes about. He doesn't score all these goals. This year, actually, he's been ripping it apart. But,
yeah.
But that's the thing is, it's an opinion, it's enjoyment. Frank Lampard, I used to love watching his long shots.
Yeah.
Right. His passes. He was just a smart player.
Yeah.
A hard worker, very disciplined.
Totally.
That's what I enjoyed watching about him play.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of it, I feel like. That's where soccer's kind of drifting away. It's just basically it's marketing these 2 big players.
Totally. It's a one-on-one battle. But I mean, like, I watch a lot of basketball, and obviously basketball is different in most regards with soccer because obviously one player doesn't have that much of an impact that in basketball does. Like you could give one guy the ball and he'll take over the game.
Exactly.
You know, whereas that's probably never going to happen in football. I mean, you'll have the one odd game where Messi played amazing, dribbled through the whole team and scored, and he basically took over the game. But it rarely ever happens, if ever. But I feel like from a dollar standpoint, like that's the way you market.
Exactly.
That's the way you grow the sport. That's the way you grow like customers and consumers of the sport, is to have that rivalry. You know, like right there, Ronaldo doesn't like Messi, even though they probably don't really care for each other. They don't like dislike each other, but I'm sure that the way they pin it against each other in mainstream media is the way that they sell tickets.
Exactly. It's pure, like every sport. Every sport
does that.
It's pure business.
Totally.
You know? It's unfortunate because in basketball it's resorted to that, right? The Cleveland versus Golden State, you know.
Oh God.
And it's like
I'm sick of it, to be quite honest.
It is. It's very like, and it's, I don't know. I think the sport is not dying out, but it's no longer being a sport. It's becoming a business.
Totally.
You know, and
totally.
And unfortunately, with soccer, the ultimate corruption of every thing, it's resorting to that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I'll vouch for. I love watching the EPL.
Yeah.
Because you have a team like Leicester City who, you know, just took it apart.
Yeah.
You have teams like Everton, you know, Stoke's a good team. I don't know why they're so low in the table.
Right.
But they put up a fight. They're a better team than where their positioning is.
Right.
Everton, you've got Tottenham, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool.
Tons of competition.
Exactly. It's just all these games, every weekend you're going to have a matchup that's pretty decent to watch.
Right.
You know? It's not like that with La Liga, right? It's just
definitely not.
It's a walk. The German league, obviously, it's Bayern just destroying everything.
Yeah.
What hurts me is the Italian league.
Yeah.
The Inter Milan and AC Milan, how they just kind of crumbled away.
I don't know what happened there, man. They used to be powerhouses back in the day. Inter Milan and AC Milan were just unbeatable. Kaká was there. Ronaldinho played a little bit there, but obviously he's known more for his Barcelona days. Inter had Zlatan.
They had Eto'o. They had Wesley Sneijder. To me, I loved watching him in Inter. And that's, we're talking about recent, right?
Yeah.
They have history. These two teams have history.
Absolutely. Like those are big clubs in the Italian league that have just vanished.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I would love to see Juve, Roma, Napoli, you know, and both Milans play. That'd be a nice league to watch. You know, just unfortunately it doesn't. And that's why I'm like I said, I keep vouching for it. I stand behind the EPL and saying, yeah, sure, okay, the teams might get eliminated in the quarterfinals or semis, but it's good football to watch because of that reason. And you're back to basketball, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Kyrie Irving was out. Who do we get? Darren Williams.
Yeah, I know.
Are you serious?
I know.
Are you serious? Obviously, it's not his days back when he was with like Carlos Boozer.
Totally.
But I mean, still, just the idea.
Totally.
And like Madrid, like, we need a striker. We're gonna go grab the best one in the world instead of just like.
That's always how it is.
Like, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, now, I'm not a big fan either.
So that to me is why I stand behind the English Premier League.
Fair enough. Okay, so how many games? Sorry, since we're talking about the English Premier League, how many games left in the season?
I think 6.
Okay, 6.
6 or 5.
And what's the point lead right now for you guys? 7, I think.
4,
last I looked.
4. We were hoping Crystal Palace would upset and either tie Tottenham, which would give us a 6-point lead, but no, they took it last minute. Obviously, Christian Eriksen for Tottenham, a hell of a player.
So when I had the Tottenham fan on, it was 7-point lead.
It was, and then Chelsea lost to Man U. The 2-0 game, which was Mourinho managing absolutely incredibly.
Yeah.
I think he's a hell of a manager as much as people hate him.
Yep.
You know, that game hurt us, but I would say that game isn't as bad because we had beaten Man City.
Right.
What really hurt us was that loss to Crystal Palace. That 2-1 should have not happened. That should have been
3 points right there.
Exactly, you know, and right now with the way the Spurs are, like I was saying before, you can't afford it. Tomorrow, Everton versus Chelsea. That's a game where if we win it, I can kind of relax. Yeah. Because Tottenham have Arsenal, they have Leicester. Ooh. So I mean, it's they have a harder schedule than Chelsea. Okay. But tomorrow's a game to me that's like, okay, it gives you the idea of.
Well, I don't expect Everton to be a walk in the park either for you guys.
Oh no, Lukaku has something to prove.
Yeah.
Know? It's like, oh Chelsea, let me go. All right, let me come back and destroy your title hopes. You know, he's a great player.
I'd be curious to know what your story is in terms of how you became a Chelsea fan.
Okay, well, it's a pretty my father actually, when he grew up, he was watching the German league.
Yeah.
So with that German league, he became a fan of the German national team.
Okay.
So he started liking the team, and he watched them throughout
Great
the
team.
years.
Always a
Oh,
powerhouse.
amazing, and they're called the machines for a reason, right?
Yeah, they are robots.
Yeah, it's incredible. I wouldn't say the most entertaining of football, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you my point of view on this. I grew up watching the German team. My dad got us into it, and then obviously Michael Ballack ended up playing on Chelsea. So I said, "Oh, Ballack's on Chelsea," and I started understanding the streaming sites back then before they had the EPL and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start watching Chelsea for Michael Ballack. Started watching Chelsea. Lampard caught my eye. And I from there on I was like, okay, every weekend let's watch Chelsea.
Gotcha.
And I got hooked, and for since 08
Wow.
I got a chance to visit their stadium last year.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely went. I was there. I was a fan before the Champions League.
Yeah.
So I can say I'm probably the first wave of bandwagons.
Gotcha.
Russian money came in.
Yeah.
And then followed by I was watching the Champions League game, and I was freaking out and became a big Chelsea fan.
Okay.
And the German national team, I love watching.
Yeah.
That's out of I'd say nurture.
Yeah.
I grew up watching it. If I had a choice to pick, it would be the English team. I loved watching the English team play.
Fair enough. I always ask these people this. Do you watch Toronto FC at all?
Time and time.
And you know what's funny is all of them say the same thing.
Yeah.
And they say it because, so let me give you the reason why the last fan I asked said Toronto FC wasn't necessarily his brand of football, is because of the fact that he's like, if you're used to watching the European League and the way the ball moves there, you're going to be really upset with the way the football's played here.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a more infant sport here.
Exactly. It's more of an infant sport, and he's right. It's a slower pace one.
Yeah.
It's like all the passes, the defending are just, it's poor.
Yeah.
It's very poor. And as much as like you want to watch soccer, and it's like, oh, it's Toronto.
I would have thought though
them.
you would have supported Montreal. Didier Drogba. That's a Chelsea legend.
Yeah, which I went to Montreal to watch them play.
Oh, did you?
When they're playing the Red Bulls, and but because that time they were getting the stadium under construction, he's like, I can't play on indoor turf because of my knees, so we didn't get to watch him play. And I was so upset.
Sucks.
So upset. And then Frank Lampard came to New York City. The time New York City was coming to play us, BMO was under renovation, so they had to play our home game back in New York, and it was just, like, really?
Sucks.
It's not meant to be for me to watch
Drogba.
these two. Now, Terry, I'm hoping Terry comes to the MLS because he is leaving Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, and Drogba's playing for Phoenix.
That seems to be like a thing, eh? Like when you
home.
retirement home. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly it. But you know what's funny is the retirement home, when they come here, they still perform.
Yeah, it's incredible.
At their age, and they're, like, they're done in the European League. They can't compete anymore. Yeah. And then they come over and they're still like top of their game in MLS.
It shows you the massive difference.
It shows you the massive difference, man.
It's crazy.
Beckham had a great season. Thierry Henry had a great season. Didier Drogba had a great season. Anyone that comes over, like the top names.
Exactly. Our own Giovinco. He's a young guy.
Totally.
I mean, but he couldn't perform. Not perform in Juventus, but he wasn't playing in his top.
Yeah.
Comes here, just destroys.
Tears it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's to me is the MLS. I'll still watch it just to say I'm supporting Toronto.
Yeah.
Some games you might find okay they're playing decent. But,
yeah.
But like in the morning I would watch an EPL game and try in the afternoon to watch, and I'm like, oh god, what is going on?
Oh no. Yeah, that's usually the case that from what I hear from most people is the exact same reason that you're saying, in terms of like the game is just played differently in Europe, and that's just because it's a more mature sport, right? Like it's like we said earlier, soccer or football there is a religion.
Exactly.
Right?
They're crazy about it. They spend money. On it.
Yeah.
Which I actually liked when I actually went to visit Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
You go to their souvenir shops, and unlike here where you want to buy something and they quadruple the price, they're pretty fair on their price. It's like, wow. Like, I bought a Chelsea flag, a really big one. It cost me €5.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, in Toronto that big flag would have been like $15-20.
I was gonna, $20-25 at the Raptor store.
Exactly. It's crazy how here they try to like squeeze out every dollar bill out of their fans, which Arsenal, Chelsea as well. Arsenal just destroys their fans. They do not care about their fans in terms of
what makes
money.
You say that?
Because first of all, to get an Arsenal ticket, you have to.
Because we have Arsenal listeners too, so I'm just curious.
Well, they know with me. One of my good friends is Arsenal fan. I've quite a lot of friends that are also Arsenal fan. They tell me to buy a ticket, you have to create an account which costs money, then you have to put a bid.
What?
Yeah, and like so.
What do you mean? You can't like buy like StubHub or like how we buy tickets?
Right. Good luck. You have to be a member.
Shut up! No way.
It is ridiculous. It is the German fans that came to play, the Bayern fans. They were protesting it. They're like, it's a joke. It's a freaking joke. Like Bayern Munich, the owner was like, the owner for Bayern Munich's price tickets, his reasoning was, I would rather see my stadium full of fans and cheaper tickets and not have a lot of money, than charge
my fans.
arm and leg, exactly, and just have nobody in the stadium, which it's fair. Like, I'm going to watch a game. Why should I spend $200-300 a ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Arsenal are big, unfortunately, because their fans are
huge diehard fans, man.
Exactly, and it sucks to see them, get squeezed out for
every penny.
Exactly.
I don't know. So you sounded like you watch a little bit of basketball too.
A lot of basketball.
Oh, get out of here!
Yeah, a huge fan. And grew up actually when I was younger. And all my friends would be watching Friends at 7 after school.
Okay.
My dad would flip on the game, so I got to watch. I got to watch Stockton Malone.
Oh,
I got to watch,
you're old school. Very cool.
Very old school. The good old days,
Yeah.
Everybody's talking, Thompson, Curry, Splash Brothers. I'm like, what about Rashard Lewis, Ray Allen,
Oh, you're going old. Seattle Supersonics days.
Those were, Ray Allen to me was just, I loved watching him play.
Yeah. No, he was amazing.
Amazing. In Seattle, he was just great to watch.
Jesus Shuttleworth.
Yeah.
Remember that movie? It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, he was phenomenal back in the day. But yeah, okay, I want to get your quick take before we wrap this up in terms of, obviously, Raptors have advanced, so that's great for us. I'm assuming you're a Raptors fan. Come on.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, unconditionally, right?
Unconditionally agreed. Big Raptors fan. Me too. They're facing the Cleveland Cavaliers next.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
Cleveland is going to win.
Unfortunately.
They even if Toronto were the better team, Cleveland have to win, right? Ratings.
Okay, I don't know about that. I'm just saying their depth is crazy.
It is. And between me and you, the Toronto Raptors is not the same team that we saw last year.
No, it's not, eh? And you would have thought they would have been better because of the PJ Tucker and Ibaka acquisitions.
Yeah. But I don't know if their head got too big and they're just like, yeah, we'll beat anybody. No, you won't. Milwaukee literally brought you from a 24-point deficit.
Oh man, don't get started on that game 6, man. Honestly, that was the most tense I've been watching a game. It was completely ridiculous to be brought back.
It was, and I'm a big Dwayne Casey fan.
Yeah,
that's controversial. A lot of people say no, he's got to go and stuff. No,
not a fan.
You're not a fan of Casey?
Not a fan. Fire him after the series.
After the series. If you fire him, I can guarantee you the Raptors will not be the same team. They will actually contend for 8th.
Well, I think no. I think that definitely won't happen. But I think you get rid of Casey, and to be quite honest, I think it's time to shop for a point guard.
Yeah? Who would you have in line? Who do you have in mind?
That's a tough question because I haven't given it much thought because I don't know who's coming onto the marketplace. But I really don't think. I think Lowry's on the downward trend. I think you got max 2 years out of him, and he's obviously going to be looking like 4-year, 5-year max contract. That's what he's going to be looking for, and unfortunately, we can't pay for him.
No.
At that point, because he's 31 on route to 32 this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I don't know, but I agree. Cleveland's going to win. So my favorite player is LeBron James. Just make that clear. But between the two, if I was to put Toronto or LeBron James, I get to participate in a crowd if Toronto wins in a parade if Toronto wins the championship, whereas I wouldn't get to participate in anything with LeBron. It would just be like an emotional victory.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna root for Toronto. That's what I always root for, like the hometown over the favorite player type thing. But unfortunately, that team is way too deep.
Yeah.
I think we will challenge them. I think it's gonna go at least 6 games in my opinion. I think they're horrible. Like Cleveland finished 21-23 road games.
Yeah.
So they're a horrible road team in my opinion. Yeah. And so naturally I'm rooting for us to steal our 2 home games, but unfortunately after that I think they're going to close us out similar to last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I think this the case as well.
Cool, man. I didn't know you were a basketball. We might have you on again for basketball then.
Definitely. Yeah, huge fan. It's actually I would say it's my
between the two. What would you say?
My number one?
Yeah.
My number one's actually baseball.
Oh,
I grew up.
Well, we will definitely get you on for baseball because I don't watch enough baseball until the playoffs come on. So I would love to have you on for baseball.
Definitely, no. That baseball's my passion.
Oh wow!
I would say is my passion. The others are my love. I can say.
Gotcha.
I love soccer, love basketball, but baseball is just to me. I grew up since I was 3 playing it.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. This was a great episode. I really enjoyed having you on.
Yeah.
I think we got to know a little bit about your take in terms of European soccer. So
bias like crazy.
Yeah, tons of bias, man. That's basically my takeaway. It's like Chelsea.
Yeah. Honestly, I like to take from like someone tells me, okay, this is a great player. I'll be okay. Listen, let's explain. Talk to me.
Yeah.
And I'll agree. You
Yeah.
know, I don't like Barcelona, but I can't take away Iniesta and Xavi as being great players. You know?
Sure, of course.
Stuff like that where
Yeah.
But yeah, I have my biasness,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I will defend them till
Like EPL is the best league no matter
oh,
what.
yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, I will fight for it. You know?
Yeah,
But it's,
fair enough.
yeah.
Cool, man.
But
So
thanks for having me. It was
No,
I love
absolutely.
talking sports.
No,
yeah.
absolutely. You know, that's exactly what we're all about. We're trying to get passionate fans onto the podcast so they can give their perspective. Naturally, there's going to be bias with that, so we
Yeah.
love that. I think that creates the excitement and the sort of the back and forth, the banter that goes on. So, you know, what we're planning right now for soccer fans is we're going to have in all likelihood like a panel of and I'd love to have you on potentially for a Chelsea fan, but we're gonna have a panel of maybe 2 or 3 of the big clubs in the EPL because you know I've got a Liverpool fan, I've got a Tottenham fan, I'm looking for a Man U fan and maybe an Arsenal fan, and then we have like a panel of 4 or 5 people and then let you guys go at it.
Oof.
I think that'd be an exciting episode.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of head clashing. For sure, there's gonna be a lot of head clashing. Yeah.
Because you clearly know, like your players, you know exactly, you know how they play the brand of football that they're playing, all the different clubs, and naturally the last 2 guys that we've had have been the exact same way. So I think in soccer you find that I find personally for soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, is they have some of the most passionate fans in sports. Period. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like in football you have, or in American football you have the Seattle Seahawks who are like some of the biggest fans, and in Boston you have the Red Sox, you have New England Patriots, you have, you know, those are passionate fans. But to me personally, if I was to gauge, it's like hands down European. It's a religion.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a different level.
It's you get 1 game a week, right?
Yeah,
you get
that's
to watch
why.
1 game a week. So I mean, it's exactly like that, and it's great. I love it. People go, oh, take this way too serious. I'm like, well, if it's the fun of it. It really brings out the excitement, you know. I feel people who watch the sport and don't have that excitement, I feel sorry for them because one, they either don't understand the sport,
Right.
and second, it's the atmosphere. It's fun. It's that energy, right?
Right.
I have a couple of friends who go, you take this way too serious. I go, you do not understand. that to me is just
yeah, exactly. So we want the fans who take it way too serious. You know what I mean? As our guests. Those are the type of fans that we're targeting. But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We really enjoyed having Rob on, talking about his perspective on what's going to happen in the UEFA Champions League. So Rob has called it. He thinks UV is going to win the whole thing. So we'll talk back. I'll reach back to him when it actually happens, and we'll see how it goes, how his pick has gone. Well, tune in next time, guys. We appreciate you guys listening. We're gonna be talking about the NBA playoffs, which are well underway. Second round's about to start, so we're really excited for that. See you guys.